What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well, staying safe and healthy. Before I dive into the video today, I really quickly just wanted to give a big thank you to all my supporters and my subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I would have never expected to see this kind of growth, and we're almost at the 2K subscriber mark. So once again, a big thank you. I hope you guys are all excited to join me on this journey to financial freedom. And I'm saying this, but I really do mean it. Crypto is the one place where things can change very quickly, for the good and for the bad as well. So you always got to be careful and invest in the best. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the FUD that I was seeing on DeFi Kingdom and the Jewel token. As I'm sure you guys are all aware of, just in the past couple weeks, Jewel has been falling in price, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because I feel like, you know, in moments like this, people start to get very emotional and you start to make some wrong decisions, and this is when it really matters. You know, the decisions that you make today will determine how you will be financially in the future. So it's very important that you make the best and most educated decision possible. And so obviously all the FUD starts to come out when the Jewel price is dumping, right? And people start to get emotional, people start to get a little nervous, and that's fine, right? No one said this journey was going to be easy. But I'm here to talk about some of the FUD because I wanted to talk about it and share my thoughts on it, right? Because even though I'm calling it FUD, it really depends on how people deliver it. Because in some cases, this FUD are actually good questions and they're solid points. And so I wanted to get into that, talk about it, and like I said, share my thoughts on it. So as you can see, we hit a $27 all-time high on Jewel, and since then we've come down all the way to 7.5. Big sell-off. And let's talk about the rally that we saw before this. So we saw this rally because, you know, Jewel was the talk of the town. The team announced that they were doing snapshots or airdrops, right? Giveaways for people who participated in the DeFi Kingdom ecosystem, whether it was by staking, providing liquidity, summoning, whatever it was, right? A lot of people had the opportunity to get airdropped Crystal and raffle for Gen Zeros, right? And so this caused a big FOMO for people to dive in. It was, you know, it was all over my Twitter. Jewel was everywhere. And now that we're at the end of the snapshots in January, at the end of January, here we see a huge sell-off, right? And this is in correlation to the rest of the market, right? Let's not forget about that. There's nothing wrong with Jewel right now. It's just people are obviously panicking because the general consensus, as we can see, the Bitcoin, by looking at the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, you can see that the general consensus is fear. Now it's slowly starting to come up, but people, there's a lot of uncertainty and volatility right now, just in the market, and not just in the crypto market, but the market in general. Now let's get into the FUD. Now typically the FUD that I've been seeing are generally around three topics, and the first topic is the locked Jewel controversy, right? A lot of people are arguing that the locked Jewel, as it starts unlocking for 1 year linearly, starting in July 22 all the way to July 2023, people are saying that the whales are going to start dumping, and that will cause the Jewel price to go down. And the second topic of FUD that I've been seeing is the high barrier of entry. Okay. Now, I'm calling it FUD, but like I said, these are actually valid points. These are valid arguments, and I want to talk about them and share my thoughts about it with you guys. And the last topic of FUD that I've been seeing is the fact that Harmony, the network, has been having a lot of issues, which has kind of hindered the gaming experience. And this is true. I've personally, I've been subject to that. I've had some issues, and it has been a little bit frustrating, but we'll get into that. Let's talk about the locked Jewel, right? Like I said, people think that the Jewel token is going to go down in price because the early whales are going to start dumping as they start unlocking their Jewel. Now, if you guys didn't know about what locked jewel is, basically the team implemented this design to prevent dumping of the token. Now, this is very similar to what's called a vesting period, and it's used in the real world that we live in today, right? With startups, whether, companies, stocks, whatever it is. There is typically a vesting period that prevents early investors from dumping their share allocation, right? Because that would technically be a pump and dump, which would be sort of like scammy, on the scammy side of things. And the team implemented this design they did this so they can really build out the project, or the game, I should say, and build the utility out. So when this time comes, there will be hopefully more demand than the people selling, right? Okay, guys, let's talk about the second topic of FUD that I've been seeing a lot of, and that is the high barrier to entry. Now, honestly, this is probably the most valid point. It's true that there is a high barrier to entry to play the game, right? At least in dollar terms, it's very high. Maybe not so much in like ETH terms, but if you go to the tavern, I think to play the game or to buy a hero NFT currently, you can see the floor is at 45 jewel. And so that comes up to easily over $300, maybe like 350 or something right now. And that's a lot of money that people don't have, right? And if you have this high barrier of entry to the game, a lot of people can't come in and play. And so that prevents user growth of the game. And that's definitely a negative thing, right? You should want to do your best to bring on as many players as you can. But unfortunately, that's just kind of how play to earn games work. They're naturally like this. Let's talk about Axie Infinity, for example. By the time I started looking into it, I think I had to pay at least $1,000 to get 3 Axies and start playing the game, right? And that's very expensive. Like at the time, I don't even think I could have afforded it, because that was just too much of an investment, too much of a risk to play a game like that. And these play to earn games work very similarly to how early startups work and what. The earliest people that get into the game and support and invest into the project or whatever it is are the ones who are taking on the most risks. And so that's why if the game or if whatever it is successful, those early investors are heavily rewarded, right? But at the same time, if that project failed, they would have lost all their money or whatever they had tied into that project. And so that's why the early people are going to have the most resources and are going to have the biggest advantage because of the fact that they were early. Some solutions that can help people start playing the game, and that's by soon hopefully there will be a scholarship program, right, where you can actually borrow heroes to do quests and whatnot, and hopefully eventually over time maybe those users can eventually buy their own hero NFT, right? I'm pretty sure the team is thinking and coming up with a lot of ways down the line to lower the barrier of entry so that people can actually get in and start playing. And one thing to point out too is the fact that when you buy a hero NFT, like the reason why they're so costly, or the reason why that they're worth what they're worth, is because of the fact of the underlying utility that comes with these NFTs. As if you own a hero NFT, all of a sudden all these doors open, and with each door there is a way to earn more from the game, right? Whether it's through questing, breeding, lending, whatever. And soon there will be PvP as well. So the utility and the value will only increase as the game expands and grows bigger and bigger. So even though you are, putting down quite some money for people relative to, your bank account, but the price is what it is for a reason, right? So let's not forget that. Like you're technically investing into the game to earn more, hopefully hoping to get a return on your investment. Okay, now let's talk about the last topic of FUD that I've been seeing not so much of this one, but it's with the fact that Harmony, right, the underlying network that DeFi Kingdom is running on, has been having some network issues. Let's be honest, a lot of chains out there are having issues, right? Like Solana, Ethereum, right, with the gas fees. Having network fees or having network issues isn't something new. And to be honest, I think Harmony has been probably one of the best chains that DeFi Kingdom could have come out on. And this is true because of the fact that, DeFi Kingdom has come this far and it has this many users on a chain to support, all the transactions. Now, let's just say that Harmony were to fail, which I don't think it will, but let's say it were, hypothetically, let's say it were to fail. It doesn't matter because DeFi Kingdoms is a cross-chain game, right? This is the whole part of their expansion plan in how they plan to bring more users to DeFi Kingdom by not forcing them to come to the Harmony network, but they're by bringing DeFi Kingdom to the players, right? And so that's what's happening. In February soon, we're going to be playing DeFi Kingdom on the Avalanche network, right? Crystal Veil. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but this is like the next step. This is the next chain that they're expanding to. And obviously they're going to keep expanding, right? It's not just going to be Harmony and Avalanche. They're going to expand to other chains, right? Other chains that can support a game like DeFi Kingdom, right? So it has to have low fees, fast transaction, obviously decentralized in a decentralized manner, right? It has to check off all these things. And Avalanche is looking very good for DeFi Kingdom. And the user growth is only going to grow. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully I brought some light to the questions because, some are honestly valid questions and arguments. And like I said, as the jewel price is dumping, it's really easy to start getting emotional when the value of your bags are going down, right? You start to question, oh, should I take profits? Should I buy back in lower? I just remember that the fundamentals haven't changed at all, at least for me personally. So if you guys have seen my very first YouTube video that I made, go check it out. But pretty much I've been invested and I've been playing this game since week 1. And the game naturally attracted me. I thought the music was awesome. I thought the user interface was really fun. It was a fun way to do DeFi and they made it very easy, right? But the team is also whom I really paid attention to. Even though they weren't doxed, I knew they had a vision from the start. And since then, since the game launched, they've consistently delivered. And you really don't see much of that nowadays, right? You see there's a lot of over promising and under delivering. And same with the roadmaps. You see all these roadmaps that, let's say, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Oh, it's so bullish, we're going to do this. Roadmaps don't mean anything, guys. Honestly, there's sometimes don't even look at the roadmap because the roadmap doesn't mean anything. It's just a bunch of promises down the line that they're saying. And this team is just built different. They've proven themselves over time, and I've never been so bullish on a team before. They're so transparent in the Discord. They're always giving back to the community, and they really do put the community, first. And I think people don't really realize how hard it is to do what they're doing. Just looking at the new update, look at this land. Look at all this land that you see. A lot of this was just given away to the community through, airdrops and raffles. They make so many announcements in the Discord. I remember I was going through the announcements and they just have so much going on. They're constantly interacting with the community, talking with the community. And that's what you want to see. Let's talk about the roadmap too. I know I was just talking about how roadmaps don't matter, but in this case, they do matter because this team is constantly delivering. So there's no need to worry about it. It's going to happen. Now, obviously, like I said, nothing's ever guaranteed, but I'm willing to bet my money that these guys will deliver on time like they say they will. Lastly, I just wanted to talk about the game itself and just mention a couple things that I think are worth mentioning. And I think, DeFi Kingdoms has been so successful simply because of the fact that they've made the DeFi experience in a way that no other project or team has done before. They've made it really fun and very easy as well, right? When it comes to crypto and DeFi, it's very complicated, and if you don't really understand it, it's a scary place. But DeFi Kingdom has made it a fun experience. since day one. And I hear a lot of people talking about like, wait, there really isn't much of a playing aspect to it. Well, yes, I agree. Like there really isn't much of a playing aspect. Like you're pretty much clicking a bunch of buttons, and initially to attract people to play the game, you have to kind of build out the DeFi aspect of it first, right? You have to make the yields attractive to bring, the early supporters onto the game. And then from there, once the DeFi part is built out, you can start working on the game aspect, right? The playing aspect that we're all kind of hoping to see one day, like whether it's, moving your character around in the world, controlling it, entering buildings, interacting with things, right? This playing aspect, I think, will over time start to come to life. And who knows how we will be interacting in DeFi Kingdom in the future as it grows with each update. So to leave you guys with a final note, play to earn games and NFTs, in my opinion, will outperform the market, and I'm talking every market, because of how disruptive it is to the current multi-billion-dollar gaming industry. There are billions of gamers around the world, and when they find out that they can play games to earn money, what do you think is going to happen? And currently, DeFi Kingdoms is leading the play-to-earn sector, and very slowly, if they haven't done so already, they're going to dethrone Axie Infinity. I've been talking about this since my first video. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think and what you guys plan to do, and if you are playing the game or not. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.